Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I hope in this video that I fixed the volume a little bit. I think it was a little bit low in the last one, but hopefully I fixed it. Always some minute changes. A couple things in my setup got taken out and put back in, so even the video you'll see the camera angle is slightly different. I mean, I adjusted it, so stuff like that, as I had some stuff and some things were taken out and put back into my setup, etc. So hopefully this is a better volume. And yeah, so before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know when I upload, and let's get into the round 15 game between St Kilda and Brisbane. So as you can see here, Sinclair was the star for St Kilda, 130 from him. Absolutely chuffed that I got him in, as I think he's starting to grow into that multi-use, he has ability to play in the midfield and also the ability to play down back, and so he has multiple positions where he can play in and still score pretty well in both. I'm pretty sure his CBAs were 68%, and yeah, just massive output here, and 23 as a low and a quarter is really good. If we look here at Sinclair, where is he here? We look here, he had only 4 marks and 4 tackles, but then he had 21 and 15, so he ended up with 36 touches. He also kicked a goal, and yeah, 130 is huge, and he's getting close to the ton club, so yeah, just massive. And also he's starting to almost get out of the range for some people, 872k, so hopefully he can push towards that 900k so that some people aren't able to pick him up. Crouch 116, I knew this when one of my mates mentioned this. Crouch, well, we knew Steele was struggling with stuff, and Crouch seems to be really good when he is that sort of, he isn't overawed by Steele being that main guy. Crouch seems to do really well. He's been a past 107, 108 guy, so I think he can close out the season doing 107, 108, and I think he was that pick a couple of weeks ago, him and Neil, and Crouch just seems to be that pick at the moment. Hopefully that holds for the rest of the year, but he's just been amazing, and the 116 really consistent. A 22 as his low is really going to help, because he does have the ability with the tackling. It seemed like him and Dunkley were on each other, and not only were they able to get 30 odd disposals or stuff like that, because they were able to get those easy marks because they were almost letting each other get the +6s. They were able to get the tackles as well. Like if we look here at Crouch, and then I'll go over to Dunkley as well. He had 5 marks and 10 tackles, and then we look at Dunkley as well. Here he had 6 and 7. So like I was saying, they get that 8.5 marks in tackle threshold for that ton really, really easily, and it was really fun just to watch them almost tag each other. But they were doing a horrible job at tagging each other, because they were just letting each other go run ragged, because Crouch in the end had 25 touches and Dunkley had 26. So I mean, they didn't get the 30 odd touches, but they just got fantasy points through marking and tackling, which was a good way to, I guess, in essence, they both almost won their matchups, and they still did really well fantasy wise. They didn't restrict each other fantasy wise, which is really, really good. Marshall here, really inconsistent to be fair, but got the job done basically. A 105, you're always going to take that. Would love to see him have a 40-45 point quarter that a ruckman really can do, but I don't think he kicked a goal, but a 105 from him is really good. Yeah, no goals kicked, and yeah, we're just looking for, he's been really consistent this year other than these 2 down performances. I remember bringing him in here, and I remember Darcy, I'm pretty sure, dominated this matchup, and he got 72, and I thought, I've made the wrong choice here, but in the end he's been the right choice, and is probably going to have the captaincy in the next week, because they play. Yeah, he's going to have the captaincy for me because they play West Coast, and even Hickey, who if we look here, if I go here and go Hickey, Hickey averages 70 and he put up a 90, so +20 on his matchup, and yeah, I think he could. And that was against the Eagles. I think he could against the likes of anyone else. I think Rowan Marshall could go 130 here, so he will be my my captain, and probably a Tim Taranto VC. To be honest with you, as Tim Taranto plays on the Thursday night, I think that is the perfect option. And yeah, as who does Tim English play? Tim English has the tough ruck matchup against Freo, so I ain't gonna touch that. He had Darcy Cameron, another ruck, has a tough matchup. None of these guys have any easy matchups? I don't think so. Merritt, Port, no. Petrarca has GWS, so won't be touching that. Jordan Dawson has North Melbourne, so Jordan Dawson might get a captain, but it's basically between Dawson, Taranto, and Marshall this week, as I don't think Dacos has Gold Coast. I think they might apply a tag. Doherty has Hawthorn, could go with him, but I'm not terribly confident with Doherty. I think he's just going to be a top 6 guy, so I won't go with him, but Marshall's in the top 3 for me at the moment. Steele, 102, 104, huge end to the game, and hopefully he's coming back in, because he could be a guy, him and Mills. Mills, what's he looking like? Mills at the moment, 683, and then you got Steele at 780. So those two are guys that I'm looking at, because Steele could easily be that M8 guy that I want, and I just need another week out of him, because if I can get Laird and then Steele, then I might almost be able to get a Mills off the bench as well, or something ridiculous like that to cover. But then I'll also be able to upgrade Hayden Young as well up to someone huge. So I'm just looking at that and waiting. But I think I need another round of Steele going pretty good, because he has dropped a little bit, but I think he can return back. We just got to wait and see with him, as he's got West Coast this week. So we'll watch West Coast, and then I'll get Laird in, and then we'll watch him against Melbourne, and then I'll get him in because he looks to have a really friendly run here. And that will be a fifth? No, I'll probably get Windhager out by then, but that'll be a fourth actual St Kilda guy on field, because they have a really nice run. Wangadeen Malera, 102, Hill, Wood, Stocker, Battle, no one else here really to talk about. And then Windhager was a guy I thought had a really good... I thought he was the right choice. I still think he is the right choice, because I think even though he did have a decrease in CBAs, I do think he has the favourable run. Also, he still is, I think he has something like a 30 break even or something ridiculously low. And he's got West Coast next week, so he could easily put up a 90 against them, as he might even kick about 5 goals against them, because they are that dumb. He could easily go in and put up a 90 or something against them, go up, say, 60, 50k, and be around that 420, 430k. And then I've got a good patch of 4 or 5 guys that I can use to upgrade and get Steele, Mills, looking at Laird as well. And you'll see Crouch might end up being my M7 or M8. Like, it's that ridiculous this year. And I'm also looking at getting Young up to Sicily when he gets back is basically the plan. And having almost effectively... I do need keys, and I do think Cameron is a top 6 forward, or fringe top 6 forward, as pretty much all of these guys will be top 8 and top 6, and these two are the top 2 ruckman. So I'm looking at almost having the best 22 out there, I'm pretty sure, roughly. So yeah, that's sort of the plan, and I'm just hoping that Chesser and Mullins can get going, get some cash gen, and then I can get some more cash gen out of these guys, and that'll help me get up to some guys here. I'm not looking at Neil at the moment, because I don't think he is going to be a top 8 guy, and I think there are better guys out there to grab, mainly Laird, Oliver. If we look here at the midfielders, even Tom Mitchell seems to be that type of guy that is doing really well at the moment, 27, but he's getting those really high tackle numbers, which is quite good. And I just want to see what's his run like. He doesn't really have a decent run in, like, any stretch of games at all to get him. What did Martin do? Martin went 112 again. Ooh, he's going to be tough to grab now at 840k. I probably have to miss out on him. But he was probably the guy way back here that if you grabbed him, you would have been ridiculous with him through the buys, basically. But you could get like a Kelly or a Cogs or something like that to finish off your team, basically. But I think Neil is around that 15 or so range here. I know he's in top 10 or so in the last 3, but if we expand that to L5, I think you'll see Neil drop a little bit off here. Yeah, Neil drops a little bit off, I believe. Where is he? Where's Neil? He's surely not that low. If I just missed him. Oh, here we go. 107 still. So he's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's around that 15 range, I'm pretty sure, as you've got probably these 6 guys ahead of him and another, 8 guys ahead of him here. So that's around top 15 for mids. So I'm not looking at getting him. I'm looking at getting the likes of Laird, Butters, even Oliver, I think, if he comes back, because I think he'll have a high break even. Martin, I'm not looking at. McRae, depends, but I think we need to see him play against Freo, as he could be a way of getting keys up to someone in the forward line. As if we look in the forward line, you've basically got Butters, Nick Martin. Nick Martin might be a way to get out of keys sometime soon. But Keys, I think we can carry for a little bit more, as he's still got, I think, a pretty low break even, and carry him up to around that 800k range, and then trade him out for like a Cornelia or something. As Bolton's not an option. Jackson, I think, will start dropping dramatically, as he needed 3 goals just to catch up with the what he did when he was a ruck role. So that's sort of what I expected. Hobbs, I think Keys is still the better option, but they've basically done the same thing. Tex, I wouldn't go for. Green, Moore, again, had a disappointing game, so glad that they didn't go for him. Heaney, he's been pretty disappointing, to be honest, this whole year, but I don't know whether he can kick up into form, but I don't think he's an option. Sheasel, again, could be an option, but we'll just have to wait and see, again, with what they do post-bye. And then we move on to Brisbane, I think, and we'll go through this quickly. Dunkley doing his consistent thing. Harris Andrews, a lot of intercepts. Neil, 94, so again, just a lot lower than, I think, Crouch won the battle by 22 points in that debate. Berry, McCluggage, Lester, McInerney, Danaher. Ashcroft is gone for me this week. I just cannot have him losing dramatically, like a lot of cash. I'm pretty sure he has a break-even of 100 and something this week as well, so even if he plays well, just need to move him on. Hipwood, Bailey, Wilmot, again, 75. Huge last quarter to gain a lot of cash. I think he gained 20 odd K basically just on that last quarter alone. McKenna, and now he has a 42 break even again. So if he can go big again, if we look here, Wilmot, if he can go big against the Tigers and put up a 75 again, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're looking, he'll get rid of the 74, so he'll probably have a 50 break even. So he's probably going to have 50 break evens for the rest of the year, unless he can get like a 90 or 100, which will lower it back down. But I'm really hoping for him, if he can get a 90 score and get another 30k of cash, then that would be really good. McKenna, Rayner, Coleman, Payne, McCarthy, Starcevich, no one else here really, and none of the Brisbane newer rookies really did well. So that's basically the video. I hope the volume is a lot better in this one, as I tried to mess around with it to get it a little bit higher. But that's the video, and I'll see you guys in another one. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.